Hello, everyone. We're back with another Island podcast episode. This is the Knee Slappers, Sammy and Dan.
Hi.
We are still watching the show. We have not been bullied off, even with the Anti-Island podcast trying to steal our thunder by using our brand. But it's okay, because we still love these boys. Although there are a few less of them now.
There's less of them every time we come back, and it's making us we've gone down to less than half of what we were last time we podcast, because we were supposed to do this last week, and then we realized that someone else was just gonna leave, so we're like, let's just wait. Let's wait and just do the last 2 episodes and be done.
And have more to talk about. So we finished off last week with the clip show, which is our transition to part 2, which, first off, I think at the time we didn't know, but now we do, and we've accepted, although it's hard, but this is a 7-member group. This is not a 12-member group.
I feel duped, I feel insulted, I feel robbed, I feel sad.
Indeed. Complete duped. It was so casually said as well. It was just like, oh, and so for Island Part 2, we're just gonna, have the final 7, of course, because that's, you didn't get that? No, I mean, why would you? So that's great.
So we stopped off at the clip show, and then essentially the next episode was half just an American Idol revealing of results style. Like, who are the top... Well, really, no. It was, here are the 7 people that were already in Island, and now let's go get the rest from ground, essentially. The way we're going to go over it is we're just going to tell you everybody from rank number 1 to rank number 12.
Yep.
Because
these are the
cannot
people that
remember
matter.
who was already in Island and who was already not. That's confusing.
We've moved on.
1 to 12.
We can't emotionally attach anymore. We've just
Goodbye,
decided.
EJ. Goodbye, Nicholas. Goodbye, Sion, Youngbin, Taeyong, Jaeho, Sungchul, Jimin, Jaebum, and Kyungmin.
They're
we
all
had
gone.
a good run, but goodbye.
They might have another opportunity some other time, but they're gone.
Follow them in whatever groups that they eventually debut in, whenever they debut. They're all very young. They'll be fine.
We all know them now. It's just one of those other groups where people will show up and pop in groups now and then. Be like, oh, that guy, he was in Island. Oh, cool. I should watch that. Or whatever.
Yep. So now let's go with the actual people that made the top 12.
Top 12. This is where it starts. This is where we start caring again.
Shall we start top to bottom or bottom to top?
Let's go top to bottom.
Alright, we're not actually doing this in the American Idol route. So number 1 was Sunu. 2 is Daniel. 3 is Haesung. 4 is Sunghoon. 5 K. 6 J. 7 Jungwon. 8 Jake. 9 Nikki. 10 Taki. 11 Gungyu. 12 Hanbin.
Yep.
And I think that if this had been a 12-member group, it would have been a good 12-member group. Indeed. It would have been a weird 12-member group, but it would have been a good 12-member group.
No. And I think of all these people, none of it was really surprising, to be honest, because they all had the most time, with the exception of our boy Hanbin.
Again, I like Hanbin,
but
I do think that he, of all of them, had the least time to shine, because
he was in ground
the only
time
we ever saw him was in ground performances, where they all dress so similar, you can't tell them apart.
Mm-hmm. So and that's when they told us, 7 people. And so one thing that they do from now on are they wear badges to designate.
Which are just very cheap badges.
They're cheap badges. They don't work. They always have to wear them just to show who's cooler than the rest, I guess. But it was kind of pointless.
Who's
and
technically gonna, quote unquote, gonna debut.
Yeah,
quote
I
unquote.
mean, we still have no idea. But that's kind of how they're doing it. It's kind of awkward,
I guess.
But
and also they constantly are like, it'd be one thing if it was like just the way the badges are shaped and with the actual clothes that they wear as trainees. They look okay when they're in like the what I call like the K-pop fencing uniform or the K-pop horseback riding uniform that they use for the eliminations. But, like, when it's just on, like, a hoodie and some sweatpants, it looks bad.
Yeah, it doesn't work. But,
and they constantly wear it.
That's what they have to do. But yeah, so those are the boys we have to start caring about. I mean, we have
those
our
were
favorites,
kind of the boys we cared about before.
Yeah.
Really, there's no one I was surprised made it. Like,
No.
there was a couple people where I'm like, oh, it could be... Like, there's ones that were more borderline where I'm like, it could have been this guy, could have been that guy... Like, it could have been a few things, but overall, this is sort of the group I expected.
Right. But, that's okay.
Yeah.
But now
we
we're
get to
talking
the
about part
important
2. Yeah. So part 2 starts off with a bang, and when I mean bang, I'm talking Bang PD's big
pride
boys.
and joy.
BTS.
BTS, right before Dynamite came out, which Dynamite's a bop, by the way.
Yep, gotta throw that in there.
Gotta throw that in there.
So they weren't actually there, but they were. It was all pre-recorded.
I think because of the fun thing with this show, and it's something it's a weird tangent I want to get on right now, is the fact that, like, this show has been so weird because of COVID. Because if you were compare it to, like, a produce or something, they constantly have different teachers and mentors and all of that, and people teaching them the dance. Yeah. I think a lot because of COVID, they're fucking still learning these songs through iPads.
Yes.
And there's just no one actually... Like, I'm hoping that they actually, behind the scenes, have a choreographer.
I mean, they've shown vocal coaches coming in every now and then, saying
But they
things.
still only show the iPads,
They
and I'm
still
concerned.
emphasize the iPads, so, yeah. I mean, in like, they even had a whole scare where they're like, we're postponing until we make sure, because there was a case of a janitor having positive for COVID, and then they're like, everything's on hold right now. And then they just resumed right away because everyone was negative, so they're just like, alright, that's fine.
Yeah.
He was just fired and never been able to work in there anymore, but, poor guy.
I don't know if it's necessarily fired. I don't think you can really control whether or not you get COVID.
Whatever.
Like, that's just,
I feel bad.
I think the world is, yeah. But I do think that it does show that they are taking as many precautions as they can, which is good and very safe of them. But also, like, it's just interesting to sort of see this show go on while pretending everything's okay.
Yeah. I mean, they are secluded in a little box with an egg in the middle of nowhere, so they have their own little quarantine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. There's just 12 people. Like, it's... Slowly, they're actually getting to a reasonable group. They say no more than 10. Now they're finally at the reasonable group of people.
Yep.
But yeah, so
we
BTS was
can
there.
move on to performances, yeah.
They learned, they saw the egg, they saw the island, they were very excited. They supposedly have seen this show. J-Hope apparently
loves the show.
Loves it. And I'm like, okay.
They have time to watch TV? Yeah, right.
I mean, who knows? They're probably like trying to find their like little brother group.
They're probably keeping eyes on it. They're like, oh, these are the kids that we'll probably see every now and then at the office, I guess, maybe. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's their little brother group. It's fine.
So, it was really cute interaction to lighten the mood after literally half of the show got kicked. They're like, oh, but BTS is here and they're going to have a little special message for you. Where
they give you gifts.
They give you presents, answer your questions. Very adorable. You should definitely check it out.
I also love that was in the same episode. It's the way the episodes of this show are divided up is so strange.
Yes, it is.
Because it was that, and then the next episode was the actual. Because so BTS comes in, they answer the questions, do all that, and then give them the mission of here is you'd have to do a small freestyle dance competition. 3 people win, and then now you're gonna do 3 BTS song covers.
Yes.
Because the only thing this show has done so far is original songs and BTS song covers.
Yes. So they first they do the little dance off freestyle dance battle. To no one's surprise, it was the 3 that probably excel best when they're just told to go off on their own.
Go and dance.
Yeah. go dance. And then it's Taki, K, and Jungwon who make it. Taki being the first place contestant, winning the whole thing. So, yeah, it'll be showing how that interacts because they get 3 BTS songs to choose from. So now they're at 12 members, so they're doing into 3 songs with four members per group. First place being Taki gets to either choose the song or choose his members. And so probably the better choice of that is to choose your members.
Because again, in a way, a good team
can do anything.
Exactly. Any of these songs. Again, these are 3, and doing BTS covers is difficult because they're so particular.
Yes.
And if you look at all of these songs, like it's either Fake Love, DNA, or I Need You.
Mm-hmm. And so,
if you look at these teams, each of them, I think, got the song that was more suited to them, oddly enough.
Yeah, I can see it, for sure. So Taki chooses members, and so he chooses the 3 best members. He chooses Sunghoon, he chooses Haesung, and he chooses Sunwoo.
Your bias is showing, Dan. The 3 best members.
Arguably speaking...
arguably you are right, but I'm just saying that's a fun way to phrase it.
They've placed well on the rankings, let's put it that way.
Yes, they do very well.
Which then leaves K to get Hanbin, Jae, and Nikki. And then Jungwon gets Gunyu, Jake, and Daniel. And so K chooses a song, he chooses DNA, and Jungwon chooses I Need You, because no one wants to cover Fake Love. I think it's like one
Fake
of
Love
the rules. Like,
yeah,
do this.
Everyone was like, not Fake Love.
Not Fake
don't
Love.
Want to
don't want to do Fake Love. And so Haesung was immediately like, yay! Oh.
The thing with Fake Love is that it is because with DNA you have a difficult dance.
Yes.
With I Need You, you haven't difficult vocals. With
Yes.
Fake Love, you have both.
Yes.
And I do think that if you look at these teams, they're balanced in a way where I think everybody got exactly what they needed. Because, again, if, for example, K's team had gotten I Need You, that would have been interesting.
I think it would have been harder.
That would have been hard.
Because his team was definitely, you got Nikki, you got Jay and Hanbin, all of them are great dancers. Less on the vocal parts.
Yes. They're not bad vocalists.
No,
they're just not. But you look at, say, the I Need You team, and you have
Jungwon and Gunyu, like 2 of the best vocalists. So, like, they excelled more for that.
Yes.
And so we'll just briefly summarize the practice time. Everyone was struggling. They were all like
everybody had every team had some kind of breakdown.
Well, they all talked about like, oh, this team is scarier than this team, that team is scarier than that. But no one mentioned the I Need You team with Gunyu, Jungwon, and Jake and Daniel. They were like, oh, we're not really scared of them because they don't think that the song nor the members are good enough to win or whatever. Because they're scared of K and all the dancers and the dance people. And they're scared of the 3 top ranked members on the Fake Love team. Because all 3 of those got that top 7 badges except for Taki. And Taki had a lot to go with because, one, he's a baby and he's told to lead the group. And they got Sunghoon and Haesung and Sunwoo, all which have been like parts of like the top positions for different performances for a while now. So they're kind of just like, you gotta lead us, but you also don't really know what you're doing.
But you're also a child. He's also the youngest one in that group, and they're all significantly older.
Right.
Well, not significantly. He's 15, and I think Sungyu's 17.
Yeah, so it's 2-year difference, but it's still eh. So he was struggling a lot with the leadership role, which I think did affect his performance a lot. Because anytime they had several opportunities to meet with, like they showed a lot of the practice sessions. They showed a dress rehearsal on stage. They showed like a midpoint evaluation with the other groups all showing each other how they're doing, and they even showed like a midpoint just group on with the producers as well, just like them showing them. So every single time, I don't think anyone got a clear set like, oh, that's good. No, they're all just saying like, you're off beat, you're not dancing it right, you're not centered, blah blah blah. Even to the last, like, again, the dress rehearsal, like the I Need You team, they're like, oh, by the way, all your facial expressions are totally off for the song. You're not going to do well. And they're all just like, Jake is just like the entire like last 20 minutes before a performance is like trying to like work on his facials and stuff because it's a super important song for that. And you're just like, ugh. So it was pretty tough because it's a really fun, it's a BTS test. Everyone loves BTS. And then they are just bashing these songs because it's their songs that they've worked on. A lot of the producers are like the ones like, I wrote the choreography, I wrote the lyrics, and exactly. Like you guys are butchering.
You have the big hit producers judging
their own
big hit trainees, how they do big hit production.
Exactly.
They're very because again, I don't think that this is very much them doing a straight cover.
Yes.
Where like this is not like, you know how in some shows they'll do like a bit of a difference. Like, it's be this because this is my song and that's how I imagined it. And it's like, I do think it was a little harsh because there is different interpretation for different
and it's also written for a different group, you know?
And like, it's a different group and it's a different, again, you can have a different angle on the same song. It doesn't need to be a straight cover. But again, that's not really what these producers wanted. These producers wanted a straight cover because it's their songs. It's their babies, essentially.
Yes. So it was. So this whole test, how they're dividing this out for the rest of this part 2, since it's a 7-member group and they have 12, they have to get rid of 5 people.
5.
Which is kind of crazy because, again, we were like, oh, we're kind of happy with a 12-member group. And now you're getting rid of 5. And we're just like, well, stink. We broke down 23 people to 12. And now you're telling us to break 12 to 7. I'm just like, ugh. So yeah, like, it was really annoying.
I could barely figure out how to get this down to 12.
Exactly.
You want me again to get it down more?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's tough. And so how they're dividing it is that this BTS test will be all on the producer's choice. So the producers are going to knock the last place in terms of their ranking out.
Out.
And then they're going to have the second, or the episode after will be all on global voting. Then the next episode will be on producers again. And then the last episode, the finale, which will be fan votes for the first 6. And then the producers
to get 1.
Producers choose 1 out of the last 3 that are there.
So essentially for this BTS test, everybody got an individual score.
From the producers.
The producers. They added all the scores, which gave the group a score. Mm-hmm. The number 1 ranked group
were exempt.
Was safe. So let's start with the number 1 ranked group, which was the Fake Love group.
Yes.
I really liked this performance.
Mm-hmm.
They got a 306, which was the highest score. And Haesung got a 93. I think that was well deserved. I think he did this so well. He killed it.
He killed it for sure. It's his like concept as well. I think this style. He was most comfortable with it, and it showed because the rest of his were in this, like Sunghoon got like a 79 and then Sunwoo got a 77. So from a 93 to a 79 is a huge jump in that. So like it showed how much he carried.
The thing was, it was just like, it's not so much that like he carried and then Sunghoon and Sunwoo were just very good support. They were very good and they can do that concept well.
Yes.
And then you have Taki who got a 57.
Oof.
And the thing with that is that I can see Taki's talented. Taki has a lot of raw talent. I don't think Taki is ready to debut in this group. We'll get more on that later. But I do think that looking at this performance, he does not fit with this concept or this style of song.
It was hard because he had a good team, but the song did not suit him. He probably would have done a lot better if he was like in the DNA performance, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I think of all of these, if DNA would have been his best.
For sure.
But if he chose the song,
he wouldn't have gotten those strong members with him.
Exactly.
So it
still would have been. Who knows if it still would have ended up with him being? Because spoiler alert, Taki is ranked the lowest. He's the lowest ranked idol of all 12.
Yes.
But because he is on this winning team, he is exempt from getting kicked.
Yep. So
someone
that
else
means
gets kicked.
not 12th place, but 11th place will get kicked. And we'll
Yep.
talk about that after. The next
have
performance
a lot of thoughts about
was
DNA. Got 287.
So 306 to 287. It was the K,
They all
Hanbin,
did
J,
roughly
and
the
Nikki.
same.
Yeah, they all were roughly the same. I think it was between 78 to 66.
66, which
So
again, and there's a lot of range there. It's like 78, 74, 69.
Yeah, it's not
There's
too off.
No one did like exceptionally better than everybody else.
Yeah.
It's sort of like they were a mid-range team.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed this. This might have been my favorite of the three.
I'll say easily it was my favorite. Does help that I love the song, but I thought that J and K specifically, I mean even Nikki, all of them really suited this concept for this like performance thing, and it was a good cover. I thought it was fun. It was what came down to it, because DNA and Fake Love were the two strongest everyone's eyes before, like, as just taking the members and their songs that they got for granted. It was kind of a down to Haesung being super good and then the rest being alright with Taki versus an all-rounder lineup, you know? So it was kind of like leaving it to that.
The thing I will say, I do still think that Fake Love, of the three, DNA might be my least favorite, just pure BTS song.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But the way this team worked together and the energy they brought to the song, of the three performances, I think it overall was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all just did really, really solid. There was no weak link there.
Mm-hmm.
They all just did really, really well.
Right. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Which then brings us to the last one.
Unfortunately, the I Need You team.
Yes. And at the start, we talked, I think last episode even, was like, this was the one we were looking forward to the most, because we saw who was in it. Yes. We had our boy Gunyu, Jungwon, Jake, and Daniel, all four of our,
we love
our
these
favorites.
boys.
Yeah.
They're four of our favorites.
And we were excited, but I think the producers really didn't do them any favors, to be honest.
Because
I think this is a huge song for them as well.
The thing with this song is that this is the song that really made... This is the big turnaround song for BTS. I think a lot of these producers have a lot invested in this song.
Yeah.
This was the song that started BTS's catapult. Like, if you look at it, DNA was a big moment for BTS, but I Need You got them their first win. I Need You is the start of the Most Beautiful Moment in Life series. I Need You is where they really started to be this very popular group. I think a lot of Big Hit has a lot invested in the song, and it probably holds a very special place in their heart.
Yeah.
So I think that added pressure, that added pressure with that song.
So it had to be perfect in their eyes. Yeah.
The other thing of that song has a lot of vocals. That song is also very much dependent on emotion. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it is like, if they were looking for something very particular.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the team did well. I don't necessarily think that this team did that much worse than the other teams. Like, they got a 275, which is just a little bit less than the DNA team. Like, they didn't bomb this performance.
On average, if you average it out, it was like a 300 to a 290 to a 280 kind of, if you just if you round up like that. So like,
if you round them, correct. Yeah, if you round them.
It's like that's what their rankings were at. So like it was pretty close.
Yeah, it wasn't like exceptionally different, but I do think that this was just a very, very... I think that they had expectations for all of these songs.
Yeah, it was really...
And I don't think that this team met the expectations that the producers had.
Exactly.
But these are very good BTS covers. These are some of the best BTS covers I've seen. Idols do a lot of BTS covers, but not so much of these three songs. Because they're very, like, super emotional. DNA's not so much. DNA's a lot of fun. People do a bunch of covers of DNA. Yeah, but Fake
not
Love
easy
and
to
I
cover,
Need You.
but easy to have fun with. There you go.
Yeah, it's a very fun dance.
All right. So before this all happened, they announced how they were going to score this, and they said in very poor words that basically if number one team had the worst member, like the lowest scored individually on their team,
so then Taki gets saved.
Taki still gets saved.
Because he's on the winning team.
He's on the winning team, so it just means the next person will be eliminated. It was worded so poorly, and we didn't get
it. We just described it, and we described it way better back when we did it like 5 minutes ago.
Exactly.
Because it's the easiest concept to describe.
Yeah.
But they described it very poorly.
Exactly. I didn't know why it had to be that way, but that's the way they said it. But really, it's pretty much just... If you're the worst, it doesn't matter. It just means the next person gets kicked. So
Gunyu leaves.
Yeah, Gunyu leaves. We'll just rip the Band-Aid off right now. Gunyu's out of this show.
We're very sad.
Mortified is the correct
term. We're very sad. I was
from minute one, I think it was both of our bias.
One of our, we loved this boy. I still love him.
We were really sad, and I had it spoiled for me, which was good because I think it made it easier, because I was just like, where stink? So I went in watching, expecting, and honestly, if you look at the performance, as neutral as possible as you can be about it, it wasn't his best.
It wasn't.
And lately, he wasn't as good as like his first 2 episodes.
True.
Do I think he deserved to be kicked out? No, I don't think that at all. I think
there are other people that could have. I also do think that the production not had it out for him, but they were very harsh on him in a way that I do not think they were as harsh on other people. And I don't know if that's just because they had higher expectations for him.
Yeah, maybe.
Or what was happening, but at that point.
Even right after the performance, he started crying knowing that he didn't do a good job. And I'm just like, well, that stinks. Probably because of the added pressure of literally them at the, minutes before the performance.
Yeah, no, them at the 11th hour telling them, oh, you suck. Sorry. Yeah,
that's not a great vibe to start a performance in, especially when you have to put yourself in a certain mood. Nope. So, yeah, that stunk. But, yeah, he didn't make the cut. So
everyone was very sad.
Taki especially, because he's just like, I was the worst by a lot, and he got kicked because of it, and everyone was just kind of like, oh, yeah. Again, we talked about how Gunyu was kind of like ranked really low, even though he never, when they had an opportunity to get members, the last voting for members to get rid of people, he was the lowest vote, no one voted for him, kind of a thing. So it was kind of like, yeah, he's out, though. So as much as we could talk about it, we have to move on. It's sad. I think he definitely has a chance to debut somewhere else, and I'll definitely keep my eye out for that because I'm excited. I think vocally, I think he's great. Performance-wise, with the whole facial expressions, which is kind of the biggest thing they were giving him critiques for, I think he could improve more. But again, this is a tough performance to do, so...
It's also a tough show overall.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So that's where he's at. So we'll see. We'll see where he ends up. So now we have 11 members, which is a delicious prime and doesn't really work when you're trying to split up.
You and your prime numbers.
I like them primes, okay? So the next test is all going to be ranked on
chemistry,
facial
expressions, engage with the camera.
The big things.
The one thing I will say about this show is that they are very much teaching these kids how to do music shows and camera work because they have no audience and they can't have an audience.
Exactly. So yeah, a lot of the tests have been actually really fair in terms of what they're testing for. Again,
group
dynamic and everything.
True stage presence with an audience will just be something that they learn when they debut.
Yep.
But then again, who knows when they'll be allowed to have an audience again?
Who knows? So you gotta make sure that camera work is good. So they're immediately introduced with some props, and they're like, ooh, is this going to be like a prop test? I don't understand. How are they doing this? So, since there's 11...
K-pop prop work, all those props that every idol uses.
Exactly. Glow sticks and curtains and the like.
Ooh.
So, they're introduced to 2 songs. They're introduced to Flicker and Dive Into You. Again, 2 brand new original songs by Bang PD, because he's just throwing them all out. 2 original songs because we can't get enough of them. Again, both just from a vocal point and performance, just seeing them before the members even perform are really good.
Different.
They're really good songs.
Very different styles too.
They're very different but very good that's exactly it. So they fit 2 different concepts as well. One's a more like adult. It's the suit concept.
It's a suit concept.
It's a suit concept. Yes.
It's your classy suit concept.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is more of your like classic cool boy street kind of that. So it's very different, and thankfully the groups got the song that are better suited for them. We'll just say it out that way. So Haesung essentially gets to pick his team.
He gets to choose his team, and he gets to choose his song, which is a huge advantage.
Which is a very big advantage. But the other thing is, like, I look at this and I'm like, there's only going to be 2 teams. And I don't even think if you gave the other team the option to pick, they would have picked Flicker. Because I don't think that they would. That's screwing over both of you.
Yes.
Like, you just have to pick the right song. So,
yep.
Haesung chooses K, Jungwon, Jake, and Sunghoon.
Yep.
That's the 5.
And the other guys are like, I don't think they want to be on Flicker as much as they want to just be picked by Haesung.
Yeah,
so
they just want, because I think if you're picked, it kind of, it's not
means
so much
you're good enough, I guess.
It just means that, like, they, because in a weird way, like, I get that it's that weird illogical thing that every person would have in this situation, where it's like, I know I don't fit this concept, but it just feels good to be included and wanted.
Exactly.
That's, I think, the thing. Because I know that... Because I feel like even when they go, they're like, there's no reason for us to be upset.
No.
And I think logically they know that there's no reason for them to be upset. Because it's not that Haesung is saying they're bad. It's just that these are 2 completely different styles of songs. And again, a lot of these younger members would never be able to pull this off. Especially the super young ones.
Suit concept and young
kids.
A
classy suit concept, but done by a group of 14-year-olds.
No.
That doesn't work.
It doesn't.
But again...
So, they still want to be picked.
Logically, it's just that thing of I want to feel included. And again, I like that they're sort of letting them say that. It's like, they're like, logically, I know I shouldn't want to be picked, but why do I want to be picked?
Exactly. So Jay was the biggest one for that, as always, because he's the one that really needs that, like, I want to be picked.
Validation.
I want that validation that I'm good.
He's very American. He's very, very American in that way.
Yeah. Very sensitive boy. Who we've come around to by this point, which is the biggest glow up.
Where we fully, like, turned around and were like, oh no, we love Jay.
Jay's great. As soon as part 2 changed, when he stopped having to worry about his own members kicking him
out,
he's now included, and it's literally just based off of skill and popularity.
Mm-hmm.
He's happy again, and his character and attitude changes as well. I mean, I know that there's a lot of editing to be said to make him look one way or another. So we have no true representation because it's all in front of a camera.
I mean, it's all editing, but the way they've edited him, I've been very happy with.
Exactly. They've really showed him glow up, is what we like to say.
Glow up. The true glow up.
Glow up, grow up. Yeah, all of it. He's doing it all. And stepping up because he immediately is like, hey guys, let me lead. Please, I'll do a good job. I'll show everyone why we should have been picked. Kind of a validation thing. I'll work 3 times as hard as I did on the fire performance back when I was in ground. Like I'm making it. We're gonna do well, guys.
So essentially, this is entirely decided by fans. The lowest ranked by the fans is going to get
popularity
to get
gets
kicked. And again, I will say, the way the show chooses to air is really strange because most of the voting was done before we had seen the performances. We had seen the rehearsal and we knew who the teams were. But you only had like 24 hours of voting after the episode actually aired to vote for the really member dumb. That you... It's the way the show airs is just essentially you are just voting for your favorite person from the past couple of episodes, not so much what right now, what based on the performance that you're supposed to be judging, who is supposed to go home.
So it doesn't really even matter for producers either. This is kind of them just watching it, probably keeping into account what they want to say after. They only have to pick the best person, kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. Because there's one winner, is what it is. And
even being the winner doesn't give you immunity. It
just which is actually a cool way of doing it as well.
Yeah, I think post-winning, he had, like, his votes from that point on were doubled. So the votes in the next 24
hours were double votes. Yeah. Which is, again, fair, because, I mean, they're still trying to prove that we want producers and
fans to make this group.
Exactly, yeah. So they want to make it fair enough where the producers have a say in who they want. The members had a say back in part 1, and now they have a part right now in fans voting. Because it's supposed to be an international group. They're trying to like make it tailored to them. So that's fine. But now we can talk about the actual performances. Which right off the bat, Flicker goes first.
Flicker is maybe my favorite survival show performance of all time, period.
Yes. I
love this
easily
so much.
Probably my favorite performance of this show. I mean,
it's the best performance this show has had so far.
I mean, I didn't know it would work so well until I saw it.
I expected it to be good.
One thing that we have to add before I forget is the Day of Freedom where it was Sunghoon, Haesung, and who was the third? Sunu?
It was Haesung, Jungwon, and Sunghoon. The top 3 ranked from the BTS performance got a day of just freedom.
Yes, which is the nicest thing to see kids be kids for once. You know what I mean?
These 20-somethings and teenagers be kids, yes.
Yeah, it was great. And so they got to do a whole bunch of great... They just, like, went to do VR. They went shopping. They went to an ice rink.
We got to see Sunghoon ice skate again, and I love how fanboy they all get when he
just skates. Yeah, it's hilarious. They
so
buy
good.
Gifts for everyone as well. Well... Yeah, it was cute. That's totally off topic, but I got it to mention because that was another moment of like, Sunghoon, I love you. Now back to the Flicker performance and how it's our best and favorite performance
and how all
ever.
3 of them absolutely killed it because they were all 3 also in the Flicker performance.
In the Flicker performance. So individually, scoring wise, the producers really liked them, and they were all on the same team. And I think Haesung led them well. With some trouble. K has also been a leader a lot, so it was kind of a lot of like disagreement on how to approach certain things, but in the end, I think they all came together and provided an amazing performance. It felt like a debut stage, honestly speaking. It really was like, if this was just like, oh, this is on M Countdown, you know, they're just doing their like new group, this is their song, Flicker. Oh my.
It's so good.
Indeed. It was captivating. It was so good. They played with the camera. They danced great. The song was super entertaining. And it's literally just made for this one performance. I don't know if they'll ever do it.
I hope this becomes like the way Produce treats their original songs, where like sometimes the really popular ones will get like done later, similar to how Eyes One has done Rumor. Or something like that.
I don't know.
But I don't know. Even if it's just, this is so good.
It is so fun. It was so well done. The red suits, man. Suit concept has worked so well for them. Which then also brought us our winner. Jake. So he
Jake is
was the
deemed as
one
the
that...
overall winner.
Yep, the overall winner got a 24-hour buff to his voting, so any vote he got was counted double. So that helped him out in the long run. So, but then, that's the thing. We say Flickr is so good. Dive Into You is great.
It's also just very good.
Very good. It's just not Flickr.
Not perfect.
Yeah, so in that group, Jay, Sunu, Hanbin, Nikki, Taki, and Daniel, Jay was a standout for sure. Like, if they said Jay won, I wouldn't be surprised either. Like,
he also did, yeah. He did amazing.
I thought he really did a good job. It's again a different concept. It was like a really cool kid, like bad boy kind of. I don't know how you describe it the best way, but like yeah, it suited Jay the most for sure. So he took the charge, and then he was the position like center for that as well. They're cool dance. They all really tried their best. So it was really well done. I thought as a whole, it was really cool. Both songs great to listen to. I mean, if they're just songs that get released, I would like have them in a playlist and enjoy listening to them because they're that fun.
I would love to see them on Spotify. Big hit,
yeah.
please.
Please, I beg. So yeah, and that kind of ends off of that. That's why it's such a weird. This was why we're kind of like, do we podcast that and then just not talk about what the results of that episode were, or do we wait? And so we both decided we're just going to wait. It's just better so that we actually have something to talk about the results of this. Because the last episode that we watched, episode 8, is all about them switching over to the next challenge before they even get results.
Yep. They essentially get midway results and then meet 17, do a bunch of mini challenges, get another mission, start practicing that mission, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute, we have to kick someone off. Everybody come in with your K-pop fencing outfits.
Exactly.
And let's kick someone out.
Kick someone out, and then, so have you guys been practicing your performances for a little while? Yeah,
let's just change everything
up. So I'm glad you guys got time to practice a little bit, but one of you is going to have 6, and then one of you is going to have 5, but one of you is going to have to leave, so we don't know what's going to happen.
We'll figure it out, guys. It'll be fine.
I don't know. It's them trying to get as much out of, because again, there's only 3 episodes at this point left, so they're like, well, we can't waste a whole episode of training montage because we need to kick someone. We need to kick someone right now.
We have like 3 episodes to kick 4 people.
Yeah, it doesn't work. So they needed to get as much practice in as possible, even if it was inconvenient for everyone, even the members, because
so essentially they do a midway ranking, which I don't even think we need to talk about because it was kind of pointless.
It was.
Because it changed so much. But the only important thing that happened was that Jay was
11th.
Last. Like, he was last.
So basically, at this point in his head, he's out.
He's out. Like, he is, like, slowly coming to terms with the fact that he is going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Which, again, the voting changed so drastically.
Because the thing is, it's also producers who they have what they like, then the fans have what they vote, but then they switch up how the voting works as well, where you can only vote for one person. Because it used to be you could vote for multiple, so everyone had their favorites, period, with a plural. Yeah. And then they would have, like, really, one person...
the one-person thing only started after this elimination.
Exactly.
So now voting has really changed, because before you could vote for 2 people.
Yep.
Now you're only voting for your one favorite, which is a lot.
Yeah. A lot. So everyone has to pick one person, so people tailor their votes for their favorite, instead of like, oh, everyone wanted so-and-so. And so-and-so, right?
Like, like, this person's my favorite, but I also love this other person.
Yeah. So it really, it'll affect how that happens. So the voting was so off, and so Jay was 11th, and he had to, like, start that off. But we can talk about 17, and I think I'll have you talk about this.
This show is made for me, because my 2 favorite groups are BTS and 17, and yet here we have 17's performance line, June, Minghao, Hoshi, and Dino just stroll into Island and just be like, hello. So essentially, they got a mission. They had 24 hours...
24 hours to learn A 17 choreography.
A 17 choreography.
What the
so
heck?
They had, it was a mini mission, so they had the Pretty You team, which was Sunghoon, Sonu, Jungwon, Jake, Taki, and Daniel. And so they had to learn Pretty You. And then you had JK, Hanbin, Nikki, and Haesung try to learn Hit in 24 hours.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a lot. That's a lot.
Sure.
And again,
especially since the fact that
styles.
they're also saying, by the way, one of you is probably going to be eliminated in the next whatever amount
God
of
knows
hours,
when.
days. Who knows? So
Who
keep
knows
practicing,
when.
but you're probably going to get kicked. So awkward.
Yeah. So Pretty You is, again, the struggle with Pretty You is it's very cute. It's very fun. Sunghoon is having a fun time trying to master those facial expressions, which again, I think he does very well. It's
odd because with figure skating, it's also a big point as well.
The thing with figure skating is that you don't gotta be that happy during figure skating.
You
don't see figure skaters smile like
elegance.
That. It's elegance and grace and not looking like you're scared of toppling off the ice and slicing your ligaments.
Yes.
Just putting it out there.
Yep.
But, no, I think he did really well, even though he was very insecure about it. Sonu is in his element.
For sure. This
Jungwon's
is what he's always...
element.
Yeah, these
Jake
are the...
is having fun.
Taki is in his element.
And Daniel's in his element.
He's alright with it. He's still young, so he can still pull it off. It's funny because we talked about this when we watched it, because we both watched this episode today.
As of recording,
there's an age thing, right? Because when you're younger, you don't mind doing this cute, fun little whatever, because you're that innocent feeling. Then you get to this age where you're older, 17 to 20, and you're just like, ugh, that's too kiddish. I don't want to do that. And then after 20, you start loosening up again. You're just like, oh, it's fun just being goofy and cute and stuff. So it doesn't become weird anymore, you know? So all the ones in that little...
The fun thing with that is that, yeah, Sonu is 17, Jungwon's 16, everyone else is younger. Sunghoon is 17, is the oldest one in that group.
Right. So it's hard for those people. And then, his song is just I would never be able to do that. Nope. So, they're oh, cute,
even though
gross.
He's only 18 and not that old. None of them are that old.
No, they're not. It's the whole, 17 to 18 or 20 age, I feel is hard for them to, want to do.
They want to be cool.
They want to be cool. They don't want to be cute yet. They'll save that for when they're older. After you're older, you're just, you forget about it. You're I don't care. I don't care about my concept no more. But,
So, essentially...
17 is actually there. We gotta point that out.
17 is actually there, unlike BTS, who were, in a different floor on a different day, reacting to each other. But, 17 was actually there. It was really fun. It was really cute. They gave a lot of very good advice, and they just sort of had them perform the songs.
And danced with them.
Danced with them. Made a comparison that apparently Jae and June look similar, which I had never made that connection, but I can see it a little bit. Sure.
Yeah. So
they were just very,
funny.
very helpful. They actually did help them with the different styles and how to make each style pop, because again, the thing with 17 is that they do a bunch of different styles and they master them very, very well. Hit is a very hard choreo, and I was very impressed by what they were able to do in 24 hours.
It's again, and they showed their practice video is just 17's practice video that I've seen a billion times myself. I'm I've seen that YouTube video before countless times, because I love that performance. It's so good, and I can't even imagine a bunch of kids given 24 hours, try your best, good luck, we're coming to see it and judge it for ourselves. The dance team. What? No. So yeah, it was a cool mini mission. But they had to choose a winner, and they gave it to the Pretty You performance, and
Which
Pretty
I
You.
liked.
I did too. It was clearly, one, I think it was easier to master. It was more about the performance.
The vibe and the facial expressions. Because again, I do
less
think that
about memorizing a choreo,
Yeah, I do think that overall, while the dance might be a little simpler, I think that the facial expressions for a cute concept are far more difficult than the facial expressions for a more intense concept.
Oh,
Because
for
your
sure.
face just naturally looks more concentrated.
Serious, yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to, like, a cute concept where I think you're having to, like, really
Perform,
think
but
about
also
this.
remind yourself that, oh, I have to look cute doing this. So they had to choose a winner as well, and that winner was the same as, like, they'd get to choose the next team and song. So Sunwoo wins. Not really surprising, as this song was basically made for him. It's exactly what he excels at. And so then they are shown the next two original songs, because more original songs, of course. And they are also two very different concepts, but more on the 17 side of things, where they go with a very cute, like, innocent song and a more serious, cool song.
Yep.
So we have Chamber 5, Dream of Dreams,
For
and
cute.
which for the cute, and Flame On, which I don't know if you realize is the cooler of the two. So yeah, that's so they have 11 people, and so Sunwoo gets to choose his team and what song. So they're all like, oh, I wonder what song he's going to choose. And he's like, well, the song was easy. I already knew which one. As soon as I saw it, was like, I'm picking this no matter what. He goes with the cuter, more innocent vibe of Chamber 5, Dream of Dreams, which has a lot of props in it as well. It's got blankets, it's got pillows, a lot of cute facial expressions. And so he chooses his team. So he chooses Jake, he chooses Haesung, he chooses Jungwon, and he chooses Taki.
And then the other team proceeds to be JK, Hanbin, Nikki, Daniel, and Sunghoon.
So they just have to start practicing now. Without knowing who's actually going to be eliminated or not. They just had to choose. The notable person that is like, oh, this is going to be hard for me, is Haesung. Because he's like, I haven't really done this refreshing concept, as they call it, versus the explosion concept. That's how they differentiate the two, which is dumb.
I love that.
It's called cute and cool. That's what they say. I mean, come on. Refreshing versus explosion. All right, cool, whatever. But yeah, it's all about the concept, because this is kind of a big deal. Because, again, it's another thing that, you know, you look at BTS, TXT, and all these people, other big hit groups, they've gone through different concepts of, like, oh, Boy with Love versus Boy in Love, I guess is a good comparison. Two very good, very different concepts. So yeah, so it's something that they have to do.
And then we've reached the elimination.
Yes. I was going to just say, yeah, Haesung was the one. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's just do it.
I mean, so Haesung wins. He is... Wait, no. Sunwoo wins.
This is a popularity vote, yeah.
Yeah, the popularity vote, Sunwoo wins, and he's number 1. Which, again, he's very popular, I can see that. And then ranked 2 is Haesung. Then Jay jumps to be 3rd, which, okay.
Oh, they do, like, the whole commercial break, and they just show people's expressions going, what? No! And
then, they were convinced it was Sunghoon.
Yeah. But it was Jay, after, you know, being de facto out for the longest time, is then told, oh, you're not 11th anymore, you're 3rd, congrats.
Surprise!
And he wrote letters to everyone saying, read this after I get eliminated, just, you know, stuff like that. I think we could also talk about, this whole episode was a tearjerker, because they had fans write in messages. They also had recorded themselves talking to other members, saying, oh, I really enjoyed this person and they really helped me grow, blah, blah, blah. And so it was a lot of tears between each other. And this is just another way of having the group start to grow more as a unit, because they are coming down to that 7 number and they do want this group to, you know, like each other. So it was a good way of easing tension, but also, you know, making them care for each other and stuff. But yeah. So that's the other thing.
Should we talk about the letters?
Yeah, the letters.
So Jay, convinced that he was gonna go home, decided that he would just write everybody an individual letter. I guess a goodbye letter?
Yeah.
And while I was watching this, I'm just like, what is happening? He's so convinced he's going home. He handwrites 10 individual letters to everybody and hands them out before the results are even told to them, which I think is very funny.
Yeah, and when they're told like which groups they're going to be a part of, he's on the Flame On team, and he's like, hey, can I just pick a concept that I want to do just so I can practice, but you guys can do it, and I will sit out because I don't want to, like, get in the way. So he helps record them more than anything. He sort of practices off on the side by himself just so he knows the choreography. But he's already told himself he's out, and he just wants to live the last few moments happily. And then he gets announced, oh, by the way, you're third. His face is such, again, another moment of us just being like, oh, this poor boy. Why were you put in such a bad light at the start? I don't know.
He grew. He's grown a lot.
For sure. So that was really great to see. I was super happy for him. When I heard he was third, I was like, yay! So that was exciting. Fourth place was Hanbin, super popular on the internets, and I guess, I don't know, I'd say the dark horse of this whole show, because he's not shown a lot at all.
He's not shown in any way except when absolutely necessary.
Yeah, it's kind of funny if just watching the show.
In a cruel way.
In a cruel way. Like, I'm just like, I don't understand. I mean, I think that adds to his, sense of popularity, because people are like, I want to see more of him, and I'm not getting any, like, content. Like, they're showing individual, sessions and stuff, and they show everyone but him and stuff. It's odd, more than anything. But that he has a huge fan base to grow with him. So he got ranked 4th, since we're only allowed to vote for like one person now. Most people he's their favorite, so he gets a high ranking because of that. So 5th is Sunghoon, and then 6th is K, and then 7th for the last member that would officially debut,
quote unquote debut, if this was the last episode.
Yeah, is Jake. And even with that 24 hours, he only barely clinched that 7. So, yeah, that leaves us with 4 people left that are in danger, one of which is going to be eliminated. So, 8th was Jungwon after being 3rd, right? Going down to 2nd is a pretty huge drop from that, like, midweek like, whatever you'd like to call it, fake like potential quit or you're out, I don't know. So that was a huge drop for him. And then 9th place was Nikki, and then 10th place was either Daniel or Taki, and 10th went to Daniel. So that left Taki with being eliminated, which kind of stinks, but honestly, from both of our point of view, not surprising. He was last place in last performance as well, so it knocked out Gunyu because he was safe, but now this time he was last again, and so he was knocked out. So yeah, that's
gone.
That brings us to 10, which stinks because that means we still have to kick out 3 more people, and I'm already just like, well, stink. Can we just, like, at this point, I'm just like, just keep it at 10. All right, fine, keep it at 9. 8. I'll take 8. Just give us as many of the members as you can accept, okay? Like, 7 is getting too difficult.
Like, if you only have, like, if you want 7 just because you want, like, the dorm ready, just put a mattress on the floor. I feel like it'd be easier.
Indeed. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why exactly it needs to be 7 members. You built Island. You can build
it's not hard.
Like an addition to the dorm.
It doesn't cost that much more to have 1 member, okay? It's not going to kill you. I think 8 is better anyway. 7, it's the whole 4 and 3. You can't really do a lot of, like, performances that, I don't know. You always have a center. Who knows? Whatever. BTS is popular. I guess they're just trying to copy that 7 number again for Magic.
Again,
I don't know.
who knows what'll end up happening with this.
I honestly have no idea. It still could be like, joke's on you. You've kicked all those people. They're all coming back. This is going to be a 23-member group.
Somehow it's 23 people.
That's so funny. No. So, and then in the preview for the last episode, the last thing we have to say is they decided on now their 2 groups of 5 for the Dream of Dreams versus the Flame On performance. So,
and who gets
as you might have guessed,
into Dream of Dreams?
well, here's the thing, right? They originally was Flame On having 6, but it was a member of Dream of Dreams that had the 5 members get one that Taki was a part of get knocked out. So therefore, they have to move someone from Flame On who's been practicing already to a whole new concept and learning a brand new
team and a whole new dance.
In a shorter time. So Sunwoo is captain, so he still gets to pick, and so he chooses Sunghoon, the poor guy, the one that he was saying, "No, please don't make me do the cute concept. I can't do it. I don't want to."
The thing is, who else? Like, I think that
who else could learn a choreo in that short amount of time?
I mean, a bunch of people could have learned the choreo. I'm saying who would have been able to fit that concept?
Yeah, I don't know. And it was really funny as well because on the Flame On team, they're deciding who shall be the leader. And they're like, well, K should be the leader. And then he's like, well, it didn't really go so well for me because last time I kind of didn't know how to, put my opinions across without coming across too harshly, So he's like, I don't really want to be a leader this time. I kind of want to step back and, help support someone. So I want Sunghoon to be a leader, and I'll help him out. And he's like, I don't know if I can do it, but I guess if you help me, I'll do it. And then they just lost the leader. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm assuming Kay's just going to be like, well, stink. Guess I have to be the leader anyway.
Maybe Jay?
Maybe Jay will step up? I don't know. Either way, I mean, Kay, Jay, and Nikki have all been leaders, so...
I don't think Nikki wants to be leader.
I don't think Nikki wants to be leader. I think that was his time is done. He's like, I'm not doing that again. So that's and that's who our Flame On versus Dream of Dreams Chamber 5, Dream of Dreams. That's a mouthful. A very K-pop title, by the way. So that's And so next episode will be all on producers to decide. They haven't decided. They haven't. One person. They haven't done the whole first place team gets exempt or nothing. They didn't say anything like that, so we don't actually know.
Who knows? Maybe that will be what happens, but who knows?
And knock out the last person again like they did with Gunyu and Taki. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? Either way, one person's getting eliminated, and then they've already established how they're doing the finale. The finale is going to be fan voting are going to choose 6 people, and those are the 6 that are going to be saved through fan votes. And then the last person will be decided by producers. So there'll be 3 people left, and then producers will choose one of those 3. But who knows? They could just say, oh, none of you are getting eliminated, or 2 of you are getting eliminated, or 1, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Who knows? Again, because this show wasn't very clear from the start that it was going to be a 7-member group. They always were pushing this 12 number. We even said it ourselves, I want a 12. Because I think it'll work, and I can only bring this group down to 12 anyway, so yeah.
And yet here we are.
And here we are trying to make a 7-member group.
And we kind of have one, even though really half of I would take... Look, any combination of these people I'm okay with.
Yeah, same.
There's people that are going to make me slightly more sad, but overall, I'm okay with anything that happens from now on.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious to see where this ends up because either way, do we want to do because the next time that we podcast, we will have the final group. Do we want to just give out our Dream 7? Yeah, I think ours are pretty much the same. We have the same Dream 7. So the Dream 7 that we discussed previously was. Do you want to say it? Well, I think our number 1 boy as of now is Haesung and Sunghoon. Those 2 are probably our favorites. Yeah, those are our 2 boys. Followed very closely by Kay and Jake. Yep. And then as of recent, we have really grown to love Jay. Yep. So that leaves us with 5. We have two more choices, and I think we
we've
both
settled
agree.
on. We both got to pick. We both picked one. I picked Jungwon, and you picked
Nikki. I
and
think
that would have been like the dream 7. I know it's not gonna happen.
It probably won't even line up that way, and we know because we're not including some of the more popular people.
Yes.
We just, again, like, either way at this point, I don't care. I just am happy. But
please go vote for Sunghoon because I'm worried.
Yeah, exactly. Vote for K because I'm worried as well.
Vote for Jake too.
Yeah,
vote
Jake.
For those 3. We're very concerned.
Vote for everyone. Vote for the people that we just mentioned. Those 7 are great, and I really hope they make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, any one of any 7
really
pairing
any
of this 10
is just
fine.
Gonna be great.
Either way, I think there isn't a way I won't like this group.
That this group is gonna get screwed up.
No, I think it's gonna be a very good group. I think in terms of talent and in terms of just a fun group to
I'm very excited.
Cannot wait until they get, you see a teaser for one of the island members with their undisclosed new name, because I don't think it's going to be called anything remotely similar to Island. It won't. It'll be stupid. Hopefully it's a good name and not something like Drippin'. Shots at Willem right there. But yeah, so hopefully they come up with a good name. Something interesting. We don't know yet, but until then, we're excited. Maybe we'll convince the rest of the knee slappers to finally, watch a performance or two. They won't even. I don't think they'll even care once they debut. I think this group will just be ours, Sammy. It's just gonna be you and I are the only 2 knee slappers that care. We're going to talk about them when they debut. We're going to talk about them when they release their first single. We're going to talk about when they get their first music show win in 30 years. But, who knows?
It'll be fine.
We'll find out. We'll be sad when they go to the military.
We're not doing album
I'm thinking
reviews.
in advance, okay? I'm preparing myself.
We're not doing album reviews.
No, we're not. That's something we refuse to do. But it'll be interesting to see where this group heads. I think it'll be well managed because Big Hit has
they're gonna do great.
Big Hit, and even if it is half Big Hit, half Mnet, the Big Hit side of things will carry them on. So we'll see. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the show a lot. I don't know if you've seen the past few tweets and entire episode dedicated to let's just not talk about Island. Yeah, they don't like that we like it. I know I like it too much.
I like it a lot. I have fun. So that's been
lovely
episode.
A little bit later than we've been doing it normally, but it made more sense.
And next time we podcast, we will have the final group. It will be after the finale.
Yes.
And we'll just have this final group. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. I'm gonna cry, just because I know I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, I teared up a little this last episode, so I know I'm going to cry.
That's the thing. Even if I'm not upset by the group that's made, I just know I'm going to cry because someone I like is going to get eliminated.
All this emotion.
And I haven't cried yet, so it's just going to happen all at the ending.
Yeah. So it'll finally happen, I guess. That's kind of where we're at this point. We're just waiting for it to finally be done.
And especially me, who's been podcasting about Mnet survival shows
for months now. Since the creation of this podcast.
I haven't stopped. I'm never podcasting these shows again, everyone. If y'all want my thoughts, go to our Twitter. I'm never podcasting these shows again.
I won't make that promise.
As I have already made a promise that I wasn't going to podcast
Island.
I've already been a liar.
Yeah, might as well.
Might as well become more of a liar.
Yeah, we'll see. They'll debut. 17 is gonna create a new group, and it's gonna be them mentoring a whole group along with BTS. It's gonna be again another show tailored for you, and you're just gonna be well, steak. Now I have to watch it.
Again, this show was tailored especially for me. I'm well, this is everything I've ever wanted.
Yep. So we'll see what happens in the future. looking forward to our new group. I wonder who they will be. We have our speculations. We've had our hearts set, and we kind of can guess who we probably will make it just on past results. But you never know because it's
you never know. We don't want to jinx anything.
Nah, we jinxed ourselves with Gunyu, so we gave up at this point. We're both like, who's someone that we want so bad and we probably won't enjoy the group without? And it was like, oh yeah, Gunyu, but I don't think he'll be out. No way. Oh, well, that didn't get us anywhere. Great. Well, that's we won't do that again. No jinxing us this time. So we were done. We mentioned 7. That's enough of a jinx. So I think we can end it there. Yeah.
Yep. So if you haven't listened to our other island podcast, just go listen to them and just go on this journey with us. I guess subscribe. We're finally on Spotify. Woo-hoo! Yay. So
if you're listening to it on Spotify, welcome.
We're also on YouTube.
We're also on YouTube.
And welcome. We have bonus videos on YouTube. If you guys want to go look at that.
Those are fun.
Yep. So that's been our island episode, and we'll see you in two weeks.
3, I don't know. Depends on when it gets uploaded. But yeah, We'll have a final group by then, and we'll be happy and sad.
All right.
Mostly happy. Bye.